What is up, Spacians, Earthians, and witches alike? I am just a simple new type here to explain all things Mobile Suit Gundam. I should be calling myself a witch this episode because we are breaking down Mobile Suit Gundam the Witch from Mercury. I will certainly be getting into the story because honestly, Sunrise is throwing a lot at us without letting the viewers breathe and needs some explanation. But this video will be mainly focusing on world building. As this is a Gundam alternate universe and not a part of the Universal Century timeline, we need to learn more about this universe, and that is what I'm here to do for you today. Although this is an alternative timeline, I will point out the parallels to Universal Century and the constant running themes you see in every Gundam property. I will also go over the short story Cradle Start, which covers the gaps in between the events of the prologue and the events of Episode 1. So let's get into our first alternative universe breakdown. The Ad Stella timeline. The After Colony of Gundam Wing and the cosmic era of Gundam Seed universes mirror Universal Century very closely. While a universe like Gundam 00 takes place roughly 300 years in our timeline, Anno Domini, and has running themes about the geopolitics of energy consumption. And of course, the Build Fighters universe with the running theme, Buy More Gunplay! The Ad Stella timeline takes a theme that has been in the background of Universal Century and other universes and puts it in the forefront, and that is the theme of corporate involvement in military conflict. In Universal Century, companies such as Anaheim Electronics was smart enough by playing both sides of the military-industrial complex. But in Ad Stella, companies such as the Benerit Group have what seems like ultimate power within this universe. Their influence extends beyond governing bodies, as we will see with the Vanadis incident. When Suleta, our main character by the way, enters the Astacasia School of Technology,
Astacasia,
we find out that the Benerit Group has influence over the future technology leaders of Ad Stella as well. Does any of this seem familiar to you? We see this mentioned as the Shinsei Development Corporation is ranked 151 out of 157 with a rank of D. So let's see how this corporate existence influences the Ad Stella timeline based on the events of what we know so far. In Ad Stella AS-89, the Shinsei Development Corporation was created. Their business began with the development of integrated operating systems for mobile suits and medical devices. This was nothing new to the Ad Stella universe, as companies have been innovating in Gund technologies for some time, it seems. Around Mercury and their many fronts in the area, they mine for permit, an element that was discovered to be of great use to fuel sources and other technologies. Permit allowed for the advancement in Gund format systems that allowed for bio-augmentation of the human body. This technology eventually led to the Gund arm, a use of Gund format systems designed for military purposes. Gund arm would be later nicknamed by the people Gundam. Humanity was born in the cradle of Earth. Our bodies are far too fragile for us to venture into space. Just as an infant has to put on clothes, humanity must don the Gund to truly go out into space. This was the belief of Dr. Cardo Nabo of the Vanadis Group, which would be acquired by Oryx Earth. When they were acquired, they seemed to focus research and development on Gund arm technologies. The Gund format made life for humanity vastly better. But at the size and scale of the Gund arm, this technology seemed to hurt one's life rather than save it. It isn't until the Vanadis incident that we see the fate of the Gund arm technology sealed. While the Vanadis Institute was under new ownership, the Mobile Suit Development Council was growing weary of the possible bioethical issues regarding Gund arm mobile suit pilots. And they are correct. It seems that the Gund arm system does indeed connect to the human body. When operating a prosthetic arm, the human mind seems to be able to handle Gund format technologies. but connecting this mind to a giant Gundam seems to yield negative results. Ox Earth, and by extension the Vanadis Institute, were rushing to push out the XGF-03 Gundam Lufrith into production. Because of the Council's concern of ethics, they gave Ox Earth a deadline to meet production. However, this was all a lie by the Council. They were never intending to allow Ox Earth into the Council. They met at an unknown asteroid to give a press conference on their intentions to seize all assets from Ox Earth and that all production of gun-armed mobile suits would be suspended. As Ox Earth wasn't a part of the Mobile Suit Development Council, they were seen as a private enterprise. The Council was overstepping their power, as it seems they don't have any say into what private companies can do. Sure, Ox Earth was bidding for representation, but minus the bad PR of dying Gundam pilots, they were within their right to continue development. As this all takes place in the Prologue, it can be assumed that the Council was trying to control mobile suit technology by destroying one of its competitors in a very hostile manner. Certainly the risk of mobile suit pilots wasn't nothing, but based on the words of Dr. Nabo, we as the audience are led to believe that there is something very special about gun-armed technology that the human population simply can't understand yet. Or maybe the anime throws a wrench at traditional anime conventions and Suleta and Gundam truly are the bad guys in this situation. I doubt it though. In a universe where money rules all, the use of force was a clear sign of a power change on the horizon. The Council announced that a new auditing group called Cathedra would be established to monitor the ethical decision that some of these companies make. Monitor. It was announced that Delling Rembrandt would be the supervisor of Cathedra. He is the president of the Benneret Group, which has a huge influence on the Council. The Benneret Group is an umbrella company that many other gun format companies are a part of, including the Shinsei Development Corporation. During his announcement, Rembrandt uses propaganda and rhetoric to influence the world of the evils of the Gundam. He even goes so far as to refer to the life-stealing Gundam pilots as witches, using allusions to the Puritan witch hunts of our world. Although I'm not certain, I assume this is the first mention of witches in this universe, and became a negative meme in this universe from here on out. While the announcement was taking place, the Mobile Suit Development Council planned an attack on the Front Third Autonomous Sector at Fulvinger, where the Vanadis Institute was in the midst of development. Before the attack, Dr. Nabo and Elnora Samaya are testing Gundam Ilfrith. Elnora is trying to reach Layer 33. It seems that the layers are a system in place to show how much life is being drained from the Gundam technologies. Elnora can only reach 32 before things get bad for her. However, her daughter, Erikt Samaya, is a curious one. She has been around gun format tech since she was an infant. Dr. Nabo connects her to Ilfrith to show that it can keep her safe. It is during this time that the front is attacked. Nabo heads out to secure the facility, but it is too late. She is surrounded and killed. Elnora finds that Erikt was playing with Ilfrith Gundam during the attack. She gets into the cockpit with her daughter and powers up Ilfrith. And that is when Elnora notices that she has reached Layer 33. She looks at the monitor and notices that this is possible because the Ilfrith is connected to Erikt, not Elnora. Erikt is the one that reaches Layer 33. During this time, Nadim Samaya, Erikt's father, launched the prototype Ilfrith, the LF-01. The LF-03 being the model Elnora and Erikt are piloting. Nadim takes off to deal with the Dominicus Corps, who we briefly meet, but know little about. During this battle, we see Nadim increase his permit score to 2 and eventually 3, which takes a huge strain on his body. Now, what is the difference between the layers and the permit score? At this time, I have no idea, but they both seem to be integrated systems to measure how much strain is being put on their bodies. After a few red shirts die, Nadim goes to Permit Score 4 and tells Elnora and Edict to flee. His heart races to insane levels. Before dying in a blaze, Nadim sings Happy Birthday to Edict, which brings up which of Mercury's weirdest and most eerie theme? Birthdays?
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to
Happy birthday to
この回線を切れ。できません。発信源はガンダムと推測。どういうことだ？
I have no idea where they're going with this, but it is creepy and I really like it and I hope it pays off in the future. Elnora and Edict flee from the Vanadis front. The next time we see Edict, she will go by the name Suleta Mercury. And that'll do it for this video. I hope this gives you a basic overview of Ad Stella universe and where it is going. I was going to talk about the short story Cradle Star, which covers what happens in between the prologue and episode 1, but I will make that its own video. It is quite interesting as it fills in some of the gaps as to why she is such a genius when it comes to piloting the Gundam. Next time we will also focus on Suleta's entrance into the Astacasia School of Technology and focus more on her character. But that'll do it this time, Spatians, Earthians, and Witches. I shall catch you next time.